All right. Okay. All right. So we're here. We're here. All right. So for those of you wondering why I'm as the two people who commented on the test videos, yeah, this is it. The thing that I planned on doing. It was this Kingdom Hearts podcast thing. Why am I doing a podcast instead of uploading a normal edited video? Number one, I can't record game footage because I don't have the technology for that at the moment. So it would be me using either other people's footage or anything that would just be worse. So I'm doing this, which can be a live stream, so people can talk to me if they do have anything about Kingdom Hearts. Contact their friends and go like, "Hey, man, there's this guy doing a Kingdom Hearts live stream who's playing through the games for the first time. Let's hit him up, meme him in the live stream." But yeah, I played Kingdom Hearts for the first time. But also, I won't be uploading any edited videos for a while because I need to buy an Adobe because I just got a brand new laptop. Hence the streaming. I could actually do it with this laptop. But the thing is, my old laptop won't be going off with me to college, so I can't edit for a while. So I'll just be doing these little live stream things. Um, for the Kingdom Hearts retrospective thing that I'm doing right now, and maybe upload these videos as edited videos later. But they're gonna be at this point in time live, so you're gonna hear a lot of ums and ahs and no editing and no music. Just gonna be the sound of my wonderful chocolate voice. Um, anyway, so let's just get right into it. I played Kingdom Hearts for the first time, and I liked it. Um, it really was really fun. It was a really fun thing to do. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. Just a heads up in general, Kingdom Hearts is the first type of game that I've played like this. Um, I've only played Kingdom Hearts never, and I never played a action JRPG before. Most of you may not know, but my experience with video games has been racing games, fighting games, Sonic games, so platformers, and then some third-person shooters and some Spider-Man games here and there. I uh, I haven't been really prolific when it comes to video gaming, but recently I've been playing more video games before, like since I'm going off to college, and I actually got a job recently, so I was able to have some income. So I was buying some old games for the PlayStation 3 that I've always wanted to play since I was a kid. Played the Infamous series recently, and I bought Sonic Heroes for the PlayStation 2. I didn't beat it yet, but I bought Sonic Heroes for the PlayStation 2. I can say I did that. I was but yeah. But then I came. But the thing is, my history with Kingdom Hearts actually stretches back farther than a few weeks ago. I've actually known about Kingdom Hearts for a long time, longer than I think I actually remember. Because I used to watch Disney Channel a lot as a kid, and as if you don't know, Kingdom Hearts is a Disney Final Fantasy hybrid. But that means that they were shilling this thing to kids for years, not Birth by Sleep. They didn't show Birth by Sleep for some reason, but I remember all the ones uh, with Mickey Mouse being with anime looking characters. I didn't know they were anime looking characters. I just thought it looked weird when I was a little kid. But I think I did also see trailers for Dream Drop Distance and Recoded a lot. I did see those. I didn't see many for 365 over 2 days, 385 over 2 days. I didn't see much for Birth by Sleep. Um, but I saw some for Dream Drop Distance and Recoded. Um, that always weirded me out to see that. And it was also around the same time that Epic Mickey was coming out, so like it was a part of their whole push for video games um, on the Disney Channel. So I known about Kingdom Hearts for a while, and then what sold me on Kingdom Hearts was in 2013. I watched the playing for Dream Drop Distance, and I just started watching anime recently, and I was like, this is it. This is it. Like, this is awesome. What is this? I want this. And it was on the 3DS, and I'm like, I don't have a 3DS. I have a DS. Because I was in 2013 and still didn't have a 3DS. But I kind of put it on the back burner, and was always, it was something I always kind of like knew I had to play at some point. I watched the SGB Super Gaming Brothers Let's Play of Kingdom Hearts. That's when I knew, like, yeah, this looks like fun. Kind of looks old though. And the thing is, what's kind of always scared me about old games, because if you don't know, I'm 17, turning 18, in a few months. So I'm pretty young, 2001. I well, the thing about older games is that they tend to be on a different pace than what I'm used to. When I say scared, I don't really mean scared because like I handle 16-bit, 8-bit games. But when we start getting to early 3D PlayStation 2 era, that's when I start getting a little wary because that's when games seem to be very open and collect things, and also like to have a bunch of different gameplay styles that I'm usually just not a fan of. So I usually just kind of like I want to play those games just to experience them, but I also just have that off-putting feeling of, oh, it's gonna feel a little old though. I don't like that feeling of, but I did eventually, what really, but like, so I still stayed away from Kingdom Hearts. I could have bought it at that point because I did have a PlayStation 3 and it was released on Final Mix at the time. So I could have bought Kingdom Hearts, but I still didn't. But what officially sold me on Kingdom Hearts was in 2016, I believe. I watched Best Guys Ever's video on the lecture on Kingdom Hearts because it was 3 hours long and I was interested and I was watching the procrastinators podcast lectures anyway, and that was the next one. He was the last one I watched, but that was also really interesting because I watched his brother did one on Sonichu, and that was just interesting. But I listened to the Kingdom Hearts one, and it was mind blowing. I did not know that the story was that complex, and I loved every minute of listening to Nate talk about it. It was amazing. I loved it. I really wanted it. And I was like, okay, I gotta play these games. I gotta play these games. But what kind of put me off was the fact that Kingdom Hearts 3 still hadn't come out. So you can guess where the story goes from there. Kingdom Hearts 3 came out earlier this year. I officially decided to jump on that train. I'm excited. I'm gonna have to buy a PS4 to actually complete this collection because I still don't have a PS4. I'm one of the few people in the world who are still playing PlayStation 3 games because they just want to. I could buy a PS4 anytime I want. I just don't want to yet. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get a PS4 to complete this whole series. So there might be a gap at some point in me playing these Kingdom Hearts games, besides me just going to college, so taking less time. But I I I really I really just loved the story and everything that was being told, and like I didn't even mind that I had spoilers. I loved absorbing Kingdom Hearts. So eventually I did find the story, like not the story so far collection, the 1.5 and 2.5 on Mericari for $15, and I was like, okay, this is it. So I bought it. I got 4 games and 2 movies for $15. That was a steal. Considering how much I sunk into it, let me just say I loved Kingdom Hearts. I loved it. Now I'm gonna say I loved every second of it. For the first hour or two, where I got lost on Destiny Islands because I'm bad with directions in video games. And I thought, and it was scaring me. I thought the game was gonna have a lot of fetch quests, a lot of go find this, go find that, go find this. And I was like, no, 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 I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like finding things in levels. But after a while, I actually started getting the hang of Kingdom Hearts level design, and I started memorizing levels. And I did what I did is that before I would go into a world, I just ended up exploring the whole world before progressing the plot in the world. So I would know where everything is beforehand, which would be which would be helpful for later because I tend to get lost in these type of video games. I don't know why. I just am bad with directions, especially when stuff doesn't look too different sometimes. But after a while, I started seeing the differences because I started being into it. I sunk 60 plus hours into this game, and I still haven't beaten Sephiroth or created the ultimate weapon. I've beaten all the rest of the secret bosses, but I was really close to beating Sephiroth, but I didn't. But I figured I should move on to Chain of Memories. So I am playing Chain of Memories at the moment. I'm in the final boss of that, so the Chain of Memories video should be coming up pretty soon after this. Um, but I was working my way through Kingdom Hearts for about 60 hours, and the thing is, the game isn't 60 hours. The game's more like 20, but I made it 60 hours. I did things that you weren't really supposed to do. Like, I found the thing is, I went back to the Aladdin world and accidentally found the secret boss before I even completed Hollow Bastion. So I was trying to fight the secret boss before I even had enough XP points. I was real close. I was getting close. I figured out the strategy, but I eventually, after 2 days, 3 days actually, of trying to beat the boss, I eventually gave up and moved on into something new in the rest of the plot. And then I got stuck on the Riku boss fight. That was a pain because I wasn't used to not having Donald and Goofy. I didn't realize how much homies they were for a long time. But like it was an experience. It was an experience. Sorry. Sorry for that. Yeah, but it was really an experience to just be there. And try to fight that Riku boss fight for a good 2 days. Not 2 days. It was more like 1 day. Split out like because I did it one evening and then completed it the next evening. But oh my gosh, it was kicking my ass. Let me tell you that. It was a rough it was a rough it was a rough experience for me on that Riku boss fight because you may not know this but I am bad at video games. I'm probably gonna once I get more things settled out and I actually start buying more games on this laptop, I'm probably gonna have a gaming channel, to a certain degree, and it's gonna be named I'm bad at video games, or if I have a video game podcast where I talk about games that I just like, it's just gonna be about I'm bad at video games podcast. I'm just telling y'all this now because I am bad at video games. People around me think I'm good at video games. No, I'm not. I figure things out over time, but I have very little video game logic. I could not get. Everyone says that Uncharted is very linear and simple. The first area of Uncharted, I don't think I got past it without looking at a guide. Everyone says that the puzzles in Uncharted 3 and 2 and 1 are simple. Uncharted 3, I have never completed any of those puzzles without looking up a guide. I am bad at this. I didn't but I tried my best to not look up a guide for Kingdom Hearts. There was a few times where I just had to know if I was going to get something at some place else or if I missed something, just to know if I missed anything because I was just like, okay, let me just figure this whole thing out. But again, I did eventually get used to Kingdom Hearts logic, and it was a fun experience. I one thing I really liked about the game that nobody told me was the how do you get abilities. This game does not give you abilities up front. You cannot dodge roll. You cannot guard. And that really got me because in the beginning of the game, I'm like, I need a guard button, and then I couldn't dodge roll. I was like, whoa, I just could just jump. Oh, I was very luckily I grinded enough because I got lost in Traverse Town. I didn't know where I was supposed to go, so I kept running into enemies. So I grinded. So then I got stunned impact early. I don't know if you're supposed to get it that early, but I did. I got it before I got dodge rolled. It was bad. It was bad. I was really on one like that. But when I got the dodge roll, everything got so much easier. And I went off to Alice in Wonderland. But and I didn't say this at the beginning, but this isn't really a review of Kingdom Hearts. This is me just talking about how I feel about Kingdom Hearts. So I'm just gushing right now about how my experience. So just letting you know. Um, uh, just so if anyone was here randomly, they could just jump in and maybe ask me a question if they have a question about Kingdom Hearts, or they like hearing me gush. But oh man, the game was so fun. One thing that people keep saying is that like Kingdom Hearts is really easy. But because I'm bad at video games, I played it on normal, and like I said, the Riku boss fight was kicking my ass, and I was playing it on normal, and normal mode kicked my ass for that entire run. Everything was hard, and I wasn't underleveled. Trust me, I was not underleveled. I defeated way too many enemies to be freaking underleveled in this game. But I had a hard time. I had a hard time with some of these boss fights. Um, Also stems from the fact that I don't like boss fights. I've never gotten the appeal. I generally don't. Um, and that's what made me feel weird that I wanted to beat the secret bosses. I don't like boss fights. I really don't. I really don't like boss fights. They're not my favorite thing in the world. But the game kind of just pushed me into it. Like, I liked the boss fights in the game. I hate saying that because I'm like, I don't even know if I did, but like I wanted to beat the bosses. I think it's because there was good enough rewards. Like I wasn't just beating bosses to progress the plot, especially with those secret bosses. I was beating the bosses to get power ups, which was nice and that was cool. And I appreciated it and it made me incentive. And maybe it's because like if I beat a boss, I go up in level. But like I found it more rewarding than I normally would with a boss fight, where I just beat the boss and it's usually a gimmick or just very long because I'm waiting a long time. Um, I just never been a big fan of boss fights, but I could say that I actually like the Kingdom Hearts bosses. That's weird to say. I don't think I finished the mobility thing. I got sidetracked. With the mobility, is that like funny thing is though is because it took I I chose a setup that most people don't choose. I chose magic and attack and no defense, so this playthrough was really hard because I had no defense. Um, so I was struggling, but because I had no defense, I didn't get a lot of the defensive upgrades until way later. So I don't know when you're supposed to get guard, but I got guard at the very end. Like at the like near the end of the game. I was in the final sections. I think I was in I think I just I think I beat Atlantica. I beat Atlantica. I beat Monstro. I think I got to Neverland is when I started getting guard, and I just go back to Traverse Town a lot. That's why it's kind of hard for me to remember. I go back to Traverse Town way too often. Probably why I was high leveled. Someone tell me this. I was at level 50 when I was fighting Riku. Like, someone tell me if that's under leveled or not, because like it was just really hard. It was just really hard. It was harder than the final boss. The final boss was a piece of cake comparatively. I think I died like twice in the final boss. Um, that was mostly just because he turned into a giant ship, and I totally forgot that he did that because I heard about that in a video, but I didn't think I took it seriously. I didn't think it turned into that. Because it turned into a giant ship, it was just weird, and it took me, and he kept shooting stuff at me, and I didn't know how to really avoid it. It was just the whole thing. But yeah, I didn't die too much in the final boss, and I kept chopping down himself in an obnoxious way. I could tell that boss fight was supposed to be longer, but I just felt bad. I'm like, man, I'm cheesing this boss fight. It's pretty bad. Compared to that Riku boss fight, which was killing me, I figured out the pattern. I was still dying. Oh man, I hated that. I hated that Riku boss fight so much. But it felt good when I beat it. It felt good when I beat it. Well, I also, yeah, I keep not finishing my bit. I am very ADHD. This is going to be weird podcasting. I wish someone else was in this live stream. Oh, I should have said that out loud. Anyway. Well, like I was saying though, the guard. I got the guard very late in the game, but the thing is, I got so used to not having it that like I never really used the guard. I went through the game without using guard. I don't know if you're supposed to use guard very heavily those things, but like the timing was always weird. I wasn't used to him guarding. Like he didn't guard in this game. This is just you don't just hold a button to guard. He kind of just guards when you click it. You can't hold it. So he has an animation to guard before you're actually guarding, and then like so you gotta preempt someone's attack even more than normal. So you gotta know they're attacking, and then by the time they're already attacking, you gotta have your guard button pressed um, before they even do anything, so that you actually guard. I never guarded too often. I got used to parrying. I got really good at parrying. I don't know which one's harder, guarding or parrying, because parrying was really easy. That's how I beat the sand boss. I just parried a lot of his attacks. I parried a lot of his attacks. He didn't do any damage, so I was able to live. Also, tank helped though. Actually, no, I don't think I used tank the second time. The time that I actually beat him up. Yeah, I didn't even use tank. Um, People also say that this is just a mass X to win game. Uh, I never felt like that. I never felt that it was just a mash X to win game because I mashed other things than X constantly. I was one of those people that actually used magic consistently. I heard people say that the only magic that's useful is lightning. Bro, I use blizzard, gravity, fire. I use I didn't use this time stop one. That's just the only one I don't think is very useful to actually make things last longer. Because if you have the time stop, you just stop things in place, but they don't take any damage until like after they're unstopped. That's when they take all the damage that you missed. Like all the damage that you hit them with, like all at once, which is a cool concept. And when it's something annoying like in the tournament, like yeah, that works. That works. But yeah, no. In combat, it kind of just gets in the way and slows things down, and especially if your teammates are using Stopera while you're trying to beat the Coliseum levels in a time limit. They're just getting in the way. But but actually now I'm thinking about my party members. Let me just jump onto that train. I'm gonna have notes next time I do this. That's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to have notes, bullet points to hit. This is a mess. Oh man, this is such a mess. Well, anyway, so I just want to talk about how. Dang it, this is why I need bullet points. I wish. Crap, I just forgot what I was gonna say. Yep, totally forgot. I'm gonna have to listen back on my own audio eventually and just figure that out. Um, I forgot. Man. Oh, Donald and Goofy. Okay, yeah, my party members. Okay, yeah, I just remember. Okay, I am such an old man. So anyway, so what I was saying about the party members is that I actually like these incarnations of Donald and Goofy, more than the Donald and Goofy in Disney. I know that someone's gonna crucify me for that, but I genuinely do. I think I just never really had much of an attachment with the original versions of these characters. Goofy was the stupid, Donald was angry, and Mickey was a cardboard box, who sometimes wouldn't be a cardboard box depending on what story he was in. But most of the time, he wouldn't really have too much of a personality. You could just kind of insert him in any role and it just kind of works. That's the benefit of Mickey. Oh man, now I'm thinking about that. I'm just thinking about all those retellings of fairy tales with the Mickey Mouse characters in the late '90s and early 2000s on VHS, like the Pop Prince and Popper one, Three Musketeers, which I think that they actually go to in Dream Drop Distance. We're gonna go to Three Musketeers. That's gonna be fun. Actually, I never did watch that movie. I hear it's good. I've seen bits and pieces. Um, but I really do like Donald and Goofy in meshing with Sora. I think it was because I like Sora a lot. I watch anime, so like he's a type of character that I just kind of like. And I think I got attached to him in the first 2 hours because I felt like the underdog because, oh my goodness, I was not used to those controls. Circle is jump. That's stupid. Why is circle jump? I'm used to, and I'm like, X. X is jump. Why is X attack? That didn't make sense. Why would you do that? Anyway, I was confused with the controls. I wasn't good at it. Parrying was a nightmare. Uh, I later, sorry, but like I was suffering in the beginning. Like you could fight pretty much anybody by just asking, like, hey, you want to train? And like, bro, they all kicked my ass, bro. And Riku was the worst. Oh man. And then the race in the beginning, that really kicked my butt. I couldn't be. Are you even allowed to be Riku? Like, can you be Riku? Like canonically? Because the thing is, every time I jump on that zip line, I swear, Sora just jumps off without my permission. I don't know if I was doing something, but he would just go like, "Yo, bro, we can't go on that zip line. They make us winning too easy. You gotta give Riku the chance." I'm like, "This is some bull crap, bro. You can't just be doing that with people." There's some people who act like that. Anyway, Riku would just always beat me back. I spent a good 45 minutes racing Riku and losing. Oh man, I felt like Rico was better than me. I felt like he was. I was like, I don't know if this was a part of the plot, but I felt like Sora that Riku is better than me in every single way. But it's like he's cool about it though. But that, in my head, that made me hate Riku. I was like, nah, you don't even know what's about to happen to you. I know what's gonna happen to you because I know the whole plot of this game. But no man, I was suffering. I was suffering because Riku kept beating me. Everyone around was better than me. I was trash, bro. I was trash at this game. It took me a full 3 hours to get the hang of it. I don't think that's for everybody. I think that's just me though, because I'm bad at video games. But it took me the 3 hours to get the hang of the controls and actually play it. And once I start getting into the groove of it, once you get into the groove of Kingdom Hearts, it's like over. It's hard to hate that game. Everyone's saying that Kingdom Hearts 2 is better. I believe it, but the thing is, I also don't know how it's better. Because the thing is, I'm one of those two people. Like, I was told, like, Kingdom Hearts is good, but it feels kind of like a beta for Kingdom Hearts 2. It's kind of aged, and I'm like, I think it's because you all haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2. I know what kind of goes on there. I know it kind of looks cool. And I know there's all those commands and stuff. But like, I haven't played it. Kingdom Hearts 1 is all I got, and it is fun, bro. It is so good. I like Kingdom Hearts in one game. Before I even completed the game, it became a new favorite franchise because I'm like, if I can expect this level of quality from at least every single one of these games, I'm good. I'm good, bro. Like, this is my favorite franchise. And I trust that I will get a certain level of quality out of almost all of these games. Um, I just feel that way, and like, so it's automatically better than Sonic franchise. Sonic used to be my favorite franchise till like this past week, and I'm like, sorry, man, Kingdom Hearts is taking over, bro. Kingdom Hearts is my new favorite thing. Kingdom Hearts never had a Sonic 06, bro. I was thinking Sonic 06, and I love the crazy story. Um, and the crazy, like people go like, oh yeah, that's crazy. The story is insane, confusing, it doesn't make any sense. It's bad. No, it's not. It's just very long and has a lot of things to remember. And I'm used to doing that. I have a very good memory. So, like, I actually have an easy time digesting the information that is given to me. Like, I just always know what's happening. The only time I don't know what's happening is because, like, that's when the game doesn't make sense. But the first game doesn't have any of those. Um, I'm going to talk about Chan Memory, but I'm going to save that for the Chan Memories video. I have some things that I'm just thinking about Chan Memories. But, yeah. Uh, Game Watch is great. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I'm invested. I'm invested. I will. The ending of the game made me feel things, even though I knew what the ending of the game was. And that's when I know something's good. Is when I'm spoiled to the entire experience. When I finally get there myself, hits different, man. It hits different. I really love Kingdom Hearts, and I recommend it to everybody. You could buy it on the PS4 or PS3 or PS2. Um, but the Final Mix collection is only on PS3 and PS4. If you want to play these games with me, like play the games and then like wait for my video on it, like that would be fun. That'd be a whole thing. I recommend these games super heavily. Um, I may have took 60 hours to beat it, but that's just because I suck at video games, and also I took many detours. I went. Let me just say, I went back to Treasure Town more than I thought. Oh yeah, but before I wrap this whole thing up, y'all, people who told me that the gummy ships are trash, they were lying. If you soup up that gummy ship, like if you actually take the time to go into character creator, which I'm gonna just be honest with you up front, it took me a full hour, but that was just because, I messed up. I built the ship backwards, so I had to start from scratch and make the ship all over again. And the interface is absolute ass. It took me a good like 10 minutes to figure out the actual setup for how I'm supposed to do things in that stupid setup. But once I set it up right after I got the warp. When I got the warp, that's when I actually set up my ship. And when I set up my ship, the gummy ship missions became good, bro. They were fun because I could shoot stuff. I could have fun. I could boost. I had a shield. It was so good. It was so fun. I actually had fun with the gummy ship missions. I like these things. I like the gummy ship missions. Also, let me just say another hot take. Atlantica wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, you lose half of your mobility and a lot of your special attacks, but I actually didn't have that much of a bad time. I had actually a pretty fun time in Atlantica. Um, so that was good. People were saying Tarzan and Alice in Wonderland are underwhelming. I love the Tarzan level, especially after you get after. I did things to make that level take longer though. I kept trying to do things I couldn't do because I didn't have a high jump or glide. But I was like, nah, I could do it, and I kept trying just to get a treasure chest. And I couldn't do it, but I spent like a full hour and 30 minutes. Yes, I did. I am that type of person. If I see a treasure, I will try to get it. But it was it, Deep Jungle still wasn't that bad. If I played it properly, it wouldn't have even taken me that long. Um, Alice in Wonderland was small, but once you realize the Bazaar Room has multiple different angles, yeah, no, that level is heat. There's a lot of things you could do there, and there's a lot of stuff, especially when you go back and later in the game when you're trying to do the Trinities. Um, then the Aladdin world is good. Aladdin world's good. I like the Aladdin world. Coliseum is fun. Going through a tournament like thing was great for grinding and also just fighting enemies, which I like the Kingdom Hearts combat, so I'm just going to be a fan of this game. I can't wait to Kingdom Hearts 3. Everyone says that game is easy. I can't wait for an easy Kingdom Hearts game. Um, but I also other levels, Peter Pan. I didn't even know he was in this game, to be honest. I forgot. And that was a surprise. Monstro was fun. People were saying Monstro was boring because, like, it's just the chambers. But once you actually, like, get the map in your head, like, if you're good at creating maps in your head without having to write crap down, and start remembering which numbers connect with which, it's actually pretty okay. And actually, I like it. And the thing that makes all these worlds bearable, is the awesome music. Oh, the music. Oh, the music. I don't think anyone emphasized how good this music was. This music is so good. I already knew about Simple and Clean, but Trapper's Town. I walked in the Trapper's Town like, yo, what is this? And then the battle music is actually really good where I don't mind listening to it for long durations of time. And the thing is, there's a different battle music for every single level. That's how you do it, Sonic Unleashed. But, oh, man, the music is so good. The music is so good. Trapper's Town. Oh, I love Travis Town. I love Travis Town. love most of the tracks in this game just in general. Simple and clean, what a bop. Openings, what a bop. Ending version, what a bop. The music for most of these games is good. Even the one that I just renditions of Atlantis is just under the sea remix, but like End of the World, Hollow Bastion, Hollow Bastion. Oh my gosh, Hollow Bastion and End of the World are one of my favorite endings of a game I've ever been in a long time. Oh my gosh, I love Hollow Bastion. Even though Hollow Bastion has the dumb elevator gimmick, which takes a while sometimes, but like, oh my gosh, it is just a fun level. It has good music. It feels like a last level, and then they hit you with End of the World. And End of the World is so good. I love just walking around that beginning part, and you're just like, this is it. And then you visit all the past worlds, including the Winnie the Pooh one. Oh man, oh let's talk about Winnie the Pooh. I love that, bro. I'm a Winnie the Pooh fanboy secretly, apparently, because like, bro, when Winnie the Pooh was in this game, bro, I didn't think I was gonna do the Winnie the Pooh world because it was optional. I didn't think I'd do it for a long time. And then Winnie the Pooh, when he was sitting on that lawn, he was just like, I think you're saying goodbye to me because what if I disappear because everyone else is gone. I'm like, yo, Pooh, don't say it. Don't say it. No. And I'm like, I gotta save Pooh. I gotta bring all his boys back. And I did. I was looking for those torn pages. I wanted all of them. I wanted to sell Pooh. Like, there's mini games too. There's mini games weren't even that bad. Some of them were kind of, I didn't care. But, some of them were actually pretty good. No, I was done. I was done, bro. I had to say Winnie the Pooh right then and there. And the music was playing one of the most nostalgic versions of Winnie the Pooh. I think that's in Windy Blistery Day. And the Winnie the Pooh music is just like it brought something out of me. I don't know why. I think it's been too long. You might be hearing a Winnie the Pooh podcast soon with video addendums at some point. Um, because oh man, I need to watch those Winnie the Pooh movies all over again and just talk about how good they are. Because I loved them as a kid. I hope they hold up. Because oh my gosh, like just being in the Winnie the Pooh world just felt so nice. It felt so nice to just be in the Winnie the Pooh world. So I didn't even mind that it was just a mini game thing, but I did all the mini games and it was really fun and I love the music in this game. Back to the music, I love the music in this game. I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 2. Nope, that's a chain of memories critique. But oh, the music is so good. I love the music in this game. Presentation's actually pretty good, even for a PS2 game. I still like looking at it generally. There's some things where like if they zoom in too close, like I start seeing the cracks in the models, and I'm like, that wouldn't be allowed today. But hey, it was PS2. It was 2002. It was an early PS2 title, so this game was pushing the hardware. Just in a way, I bet. Can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 2 because that game even looks even better, and I just I love Kingdom Hearts, man. That's the final verdict. 9 out of 10. I love this game. It was so good. It was so fun. I recommend it to pretty much anybody who likes Final Fantasy or Disney. I'm not a big Final Fantasy person, so but like, bro, I don't even care that much about the Disney stuff because this is part of my childhood. But I was more of a Pixar kid than a Disney kid. I was more raised on Pixar stuff than Disney stuff. I never really, except I was the only time I was raised on Disney was the old Disney stuff, like Cinderella, Dumbo, Bambi. I didn't really watch a lot of the Renaissance movies until I was older, so I don't really have nostalgia attached to some of these older movies. Some of these new, I mean, the '90s ones like Aladdin. I didn't watch Aladdin until a few years ago. That was around Robin Williams' death because we just happened to have the Blu-ray, so I just happened sent to us from Disney because of that's a whole personal matter. But anyway, we have a thing where we get sent stuff by Disney anyway. Let me just tell you that. And we we got a lot of so we watched it, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Tarzan I watched a lot as a kid, so maybe that's why I like the Tarzan world a lot. I didn't watch Hercules until I was a teenager. I didn't watch. I didn't watch Little Mermaid. I think I watched Little Mermaid when I was younger, but I didn't really care too much for it, so I wasn't really a big fan of it. Peter Pan, I did watch that as a kid, and I thought Peter Pan was a surprise. I mean, I've actually never watched Pinocchio, but like I know the story of Pinocchio, so that's fine. So like actually most of the dwarves in here, I never actually watched the movie for or care too much about the movie for them per se, but like so the thing is, why I'm here for Kingdom Hearts is mostly the real stories, and that's why I know that Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be a little bit of a struggle for me. But I know I'm going to love the Monsters Inc. and Toy Story worlds because I was raised on Pixar, so getting Pixar stuff was pretty good. And then also, I actually did watch Tangled when I was a kid, so I would actually be nostalgic for Tangled because I watched Tangled 9 years ago. Well, not 9 years ago. I watched it in 2011 or 2012 on TV. To be honest, I did like it a lot. I did like it a lot. I like Tangled. Tangled is better than Frozen. That's just the fact. But yeah. I think I've said not everything I want to say. Everything. I'm probably gonna make an actual video talking about Kingdom Hearts at some point in the future. But I'm gonna go through all these, and then I'm gonna make a one big huge video because by then I'll probably have like a PS4 and I'll have a graphics like a whole thing to record stuff off of my PS4, and that's gonna be a whole day. Uh, but I'm gonna totally do that in the future. But I hopefully you loved listening to my voice since no one actually showed up to actually watch. Hopefully you if you do listen to this, you show up for the next one. I'm not gonna give you a date because I don't know the date, but I do plan on having a next one. I'll probably schedule it so people can actually see it before it happens. So that'll be the goal. But I think this is a pretty lengthy stream. A lot of it is me babbling to myself. You get to hear me without a script. Um, uh, well, I hope everyone who listened to this has a great evening and or a good morning or a good whatever, and take care. And that's a some call me Johnny thing. I need my own outro. But anyway, bye.